Hi guys, so I studied the active ingredients in Dr. Rashel Sunscreen, so you don't have to. If you are using Dr. Rashel Sunscreen or you are about to purchase it, this video is for you. Take your pen and paper and take down notes, because I promise this is going to be so much filled with information that you can find this anywhere. The first thing I would like to do is actually differentiate the different types of sunscreen, so you know where to classify Dr. Rashel Sunscreen, so subsequently you can understand better where to categorize and which is best for you in the future. So the first thing I would like to say is we have two types of sunscreens. We have the physical and we have the chemical sunscreen. Physical sunscreens can also be called mineral sunscreens, and examples can be titanium oxide and zinc oxide. These are the examples of physical sunscreen, and that's mineral sunscreen. So we also have the chemical sunscreens, and what these sunscreens do is actually absorb these UV rays and send them back as heat. The examples of this is Oxybenzone and Octocrylene and Paraben. These are examples of the chemical sunscreens. What physical sunscreen does is that it deflects these UV rays before it damages your skin. So these are very distinctive properties, and this is how it actually functions. So whenever you're applying your sunscreen, you know how it's actually working and how it functions to actually protect you from sun damages. So sunscreens are very much important because they have studied that 40% of skin cancers are being avoided by the use of sunscreen. It has the property of delaying aging process. If you are looking to look younger and more youthful, and you want to prevent the effects of sun damage on your skin from making you look older than you are, use and incorporate sunscreen into your skincare regimen, because it is proven by studies that this is what it does, and it slows down the signs of aging. So I'm going to go right into this video. I'm going to start with the least problematic review, and I would go down to the most problematic review. People have a lot of concerns that have been raised because of Dr. Rashel products, but I'm going to demystify some of those myths and some of this information, and I'll also break down all the information that you need to know. So if you're yet to subscribe to my channel and you're interested in skincare and getting better and lifestyle, kindly subscribe to my channel, and also share this information with someone that would find this helpful, because I'm very sure someone will find this helpful out there, because these information that I'm going to share here are not something you see just anywhere. I took my time and I researched all this information so I can bring them all to you, my lovelies. So if you have any comments, any questions that you have, you can also put them in the comment section and I will see them firsthand, and I'll answer all your questions in my next video. I'm going to give you some concerns people have had while using Dr. Rashel, so you know if this is the best product for you. So is Dr. Rashel a chemical or physical sunscreen? Yes, it is chemical sunscreen. Some people have raised some concerns about Dr. Rashel sunscreen. I'm going to give you some of the concerns and some reviews that people have had. Some concerns are very mild, while some are much more intense. This would also help you to make a choice about the best that you could use. The first concern I would like to say is people have complained that this sunscreen actually made them sweat. So I've experienced this before because I used to use Dr. Rashel sunscreen. PS, I am not trying to condemn anyone's brand or anyone's company, but this is based on my observation and this is based on my research. I'm not saying we should not use this, because this is a very affordable sunscreen. In fact, I have 2 bottles in my house that I still have not exhausted yet, because I started using it but I just could not finish it, because when I use it I tend to sweat more and I'll see myself getting a lot oily than I want to, and as I reapply I see myself having a little bit of whiteness to my skin. So it's a very good sunscreen, but it needs you to be patient with it and actually just not rush. And if you want to go out with just your skin without any makeup, I would advise that you take your time more before you apply and go out immediately. So about this concern, when I applied this Dr. Rashel sunscreen, what I noticed was when I went out, after a while I started seeing myself sweat around my T-zone area. I began to see myself looking a lot more oily, and it was more like my skin was expelling the sunscreen. Perhaps I'll say this is because it's a chemical sunscreen and I didn't really experience this. I feel like this Dr. Rashel sunscreen is more like a moisturizer, more like a sunscreen, because when I use it, I tend to look glowy and a lot shinier than when I use some other sunscreens. If you are looking for something that will make you look more shiny, then I would advise that you should try Dr. Rashel sunscreen. I also love the fact that Dr. Rashel sunscreen smells so fruity. It smells like watermelon. So yeah, if you are someone that loves something that smells so nice and has a very nice fragrance, yes, you should try Dr. Rashel sunscreen, because very few sunscreens out there actually have a very nice fragrance. Most of them are just bland and don't really have any fragrance attached to them. I'm going to talk about the first ingredient that is found in this sunscreen, which is the parabens, right? So the paraben particularly here is methylparaben, and there are a lot of concerns that have been raised about parabens, and we have all heard that they have potential cancer causing properties and all that. People have had this fear for a very long time, so I'm not really going to particularly say that anyone has actually been directly linked to using this thing and having this particular condition, but based on environmental workers group, they said that it has moderate to low risk health hazards and 0% of risk of causing skin cancer. So I don't know what exactly is making people think that this might cause cancer, but yeah, based on these studies, it has been shown that it has 0% risk of causing skin cancer. But yeah, it's a paraben, which is a preservative, so I wouldn't completely rule that out. But for this particular paraben, the body actually gets rid of it very fast, so it doesn't really get stored in the body for a long time. The body expels it much quicker. Based on my findings, the body gets rid of it a lot faster. So the next ingredient is going to be octocrylene, and if you are using this on your kids, please stop using on your kids, because it can cause allergic reactions in children. So octocrylene can we can use this to say, yeah, it helps this other sunscreen ingredients to remain stable. So it's more like stabilizes them, because some of these other components in our chemical sunscreen actually gets deactivated by the sun. So you can imagine a sunscreen that you're supposed to use to protect your skin is actually getting deactivated by the sun. So what's not the point of using them if the sun can actually destroy them and deactivate them? So this octocrylene is actually more like a stabilizer. So it stabilizes the other ingredients that are found in your sunscreen. So it also helps to prevent premature aging on its own, and it also has other benefits. It also has water resistance properties, so it helps our sunscreens to become much more water resistant. So by the time water just splashes on your skin, it doesn't just completely just come off and melt and disappears. So it also helps our sunscreens to have a much more water resistant property. Overall, it's been helpful in our sunscreen. So we have next ingredient, which is our Oxybenzone. So Oxybenzone has been flagged as a potential hormone disruptor. So if you have experience using sunscreens and then this is found in it, and then you experience hormonal imbalance and hormonal issues, then you should know that this might be the culprit, or you begin to suddenly see some acne, or you begin to see some reactions, and know that probably it's messing with your hormones, and probably this might not be the best sunscreen for you. You should be aware of this if you begin to notice possible issues instead of helping you instead. We're going to really look into these dangers that are associated with the sunscreen. You would know that it would not be the best thing for a pregnant woman to use this thing, because it's a potential endocrine disruptor, and it also has a lot of hormonal imbalances associated with them. So if you're pregnant or you're looking to get pregnant, I would advise that you quit using some of these products that contain these harmful ingredients. I would suggest that you use mineral sunscreens for this period in time to protect yourself from the possible harm that this can cause. I came across a YouTuber that said she had recurrent acne flare-ups and breakouts while using this sunscreen. So based on what I've seen, it works for some people, while some people it doesn't work for them. But if I were you, if I've experienced any of these concerns and I'm mindful about once I'm putting on my skin, I would advise that we switch to mineral sunscreen. Yeah, come to the end of my video. I hope you've learned something, because while I was creating this, I learned a lot for myself also and for my loved ones. So if you have loved ones that you want to learn from this, I would advise that you share this with someone. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. You've brought me this far. Kindly subscribe, turn on the post notification, so whenever I post, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much. If you're part of the family, I love you so much. You know how much I love your, like, and I appreciate your support so far. Bringing me this far, I really appreciate you. Yeah, thank you so much. See you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.